There is some sociological literature, and culture shock has been broken down into 4 distinct phases. The first phase is a honeymoon phase. Most tourists who visit a foreign country or a different region of their home country usually are still in the honeymoon phase while they are experiencing a different culture, right? And so they return home without really having to deal with extensive culture shock. The second phase is really a negotiation where subjects start experiencing culture shock, and the first symptoms tend to be a desire to experience something from their own culture. It can get actually quite serious in terms of depression and withdrawing from social interaction, and you find yourself in this phase of negotiation where you have to push yourself beyond your own cultural limits to try to experience something new. The third phase is a period of adjustment where people who are experiencing culture shock try to move beyond these initial symptoms and try to experience the culture anew. The fourth and final phase, if one is so lucky to get over culture shock, is really adaptation. Learning one's own personal limits within the cultural situation and learning how the culture affects them. I could see a hypothetical situation where somebody has some experience in a new situation, living in a new culture. They acclimatize to a certain degree with their surroundings. But I think relationships take some of those cultural expectations perhaps to the next level, right? Where you're intimately trying to understand the other person and their perspective. So relationships that are cross-cultural, of course, have the potential for misunderstandings or for exposing an individual to a different dynamic, a familial dynamic. And so that could potentially push somebody who seems otherwise well-adjusted to have some frustration.
But being in love is a wonderful thing. It makes you feel like it gives you something to live for, and not basing it on relationships should be your happiness, but sometimes there are people who can be depressed and all they have is that person that they can lean on that makes them happy.
Previously, I used to think was in love. Someone would tell me that they loved me, and I would say I love you back just because I felt like I was obligated to say I love you back, because it's just awkward if someone says I love you and you don't feel the same. What do you say? That took like the value of the word love away, because you just say it without thinking like, do I really love them? So you just say I love you.
I would say that I would have claimed to be in love, and the reason why I say I claim is because what I was feeling was I was feeling safe. I was feeling secured. I had felt like, oh wait, you're recording? Like just butterflies all the time and like having that connection. And then I also want to say that I claimed that was because, you know, after the heartbreak really showed me like I was in love, because it was to where I couldn't eat for days. I couldn't focus on nothing. Just things like that, just like really tearing myself down, knowing that, you know, I thought I was in love. So it really made me question my view on love.
People think that they are supposed to walk around with t-shirts with their partner's face like all on it. They think that they're supposed to, go everywhere together, just be all on each other's faces and, you know, just do things they normally wouldn't do aside from social media.
Right now, I'm not sure if this is love, but I'm pretty sure I'm really close, because the feelings I have for her are so intense.
People just think they have to be more. It sets this expectation that's not there. It's all a facade, I think. And people do the most so they can influence others, and it's just not real.
You love me. Don't put that black lipstick on me. I've never had a female like this in my life. It's always been me that's caring more about them and putting more of myself into them and not getting the same thing in return. But to have somebody actually put in the same effort, that was so new to me. So like, I'm like, maybe this is love because I've never experienced love. This feeling is new to me. What is this new feeling? And love was the only way I could describe it.
I believe that without social media, sure there'll be surprises and things like that, but without social media, you wouldn't have people doing the most for their partner. It's because, oh, I want to show everyone how good of a person I am to her, when in reality, I'm cheating on her.
At first, it was very trustworthy, because I always give people the benefit of the doubt, always, until, like, as you would say, red flags start popping up, like keeping your phone too close to you, or constantly on your phone, but whenever I text you, you take a little bit longer to reply, and and just like lying about little things, like I said before, that's what breaks the trust for me. Coming to Berea, I've noticed that whenever people get in a relationship, they make it work.
That's gross.
And I've also seen the flip side of people just going out, just to be going out, or just wanting to be with this person because of their status here. And I was more shocked seeing that people that have only known each other for a few months get married and making it work. And like, I just find that like inspiring, like, oh, okay, like, time doesn't matter. So like, it's just really how your connection with that person is.
Is this love? Like, I don't know, I was just asking myself these questions. So I don't think I had love before I was here, but I think I had the misconception that it was love. I feel like love found me here. It was not easy, for sure, because once my girlfriend started confiding in me and telling me the type of stuff she's been through, but it was easier for me to understand. It's something that you've experienced so much that it's like, wow, what makes this person different?
It could, I feel like it could go both ways, because it really depends on the person. If you find like a person that is willing to go like equal with you and just match you in the type of support or in everyday life, I feel like it would be a pretty good thing. But sometimes you might just get one person that definitely doesn't like want to match you.
In high school, you got like your mind, you're not very mature, so it's all like, if they see you out together, they automatically think you're dating, automatically, or think that you're sleeping around. But like coming here, it's like you can go out with like a group of people or like just one person, and people not see it that way. So that's what really shocked me. Like I was like, oh wow, so I can actually go hang out with like my guy friends and not be seen as I'm dating them. If I was looking for someone, something that would definitely play a part would be, honesty. How are you with your family? Are you close with them? Because I think if you're close with your family, then that's a relationship that I would want, because I'm close with my family. I really think that just, having a good belief, and if you know that you're gonna have something in life, like if you're having something in life, if you have goals,
My relationship at Berea is definitely more serious than any relationship I've ever had back at home. I feel like I couldn't even hold a meaningful conversation, like an academic conversation about real stuff with those females back at home. They're so simple-minded, but I didn't really like that, and I knew that's not the type of relationship I wanted. But it wasn't until I got here that I actually experienced, like, I may have told those girls I love them, but that was not love. Have I been in a relationship before? Yes. Have I been in a serious relationship before? No. And there are a lot of factors that contribute to that.
I can't really say on this campus when there are people here that don't have healthy relationships. Like, they go back home and then they go cheat.
Most of the time, my partners that I did talk to, they weren't actually out of the closet to their mothers. So it was like, we're school girlfriends, but out of school we really can't hang together. And I would get introduced to her mother as a friend, and that would like diminish the value of our relationship too, because it's like, dang.
That took me by surprise, because I was used to be treating a certain way, and then coming here and dating someone outside my culture, outside what I was taught, it was very different. And really, relationships now, to me, they don't mean the same thing. In high school, I thought if you was in a relationship, you was good, you was cool. Now it's just like, if you're in a relationship, you got to be in it for you. If I want to be in one, I'm going to be in it for me, and then me and you, and that's going to be it. Like, we're not going to involve, you know, other people, because that's really how breakups start, you know, is other people put their opinions in it, put their inputs in it. My views on a relationship now is that it's going to be me and you, and that's it.
You let me want to talk to you like how I talk to my little puppy.
No, I'm not a dog. My girlfriend is my best friend. She's never switched up on me. If you can't stand being separated for a little short period of time, or even a longer period of time, then y'all shouldn't be together, because life is going to, like, this is just like preparation. Berea is preparation for the real world, especially her being at my dorm most of the time. This is preparation for if we were to move together, if we were to get an apartment together.
Something I would look for probably in my next partner would be definitely support. And obviously they would have that from me, and I would definitely want that from them, just because this is a really stressful place, and you need someone to really, like, who really understands you and wants to push you to go farther. Why I'm single right now, it's probably to work on myself. Like I stated before, Berea is definitely a very stressful place, and it can definitely get to your head a lot quickly. So I feel like it's to, like, try to focus on me and see where I am in life, where I'm going.
Culture shock, by its very definition, presents a challenge to the individual in attempting to understand a new cultural environment, a new situation, and all of the literature suggests that this individual really will succeed most when they make efforts in order to make themselves eventually more comfortable in the situation through accepting discomfort. So by pushing yourself to try new foods, to hang out in new social situations, in order to interact with the people around you, drawing yourself out socially versus retreating back into something which is more comfortable, is one of the ways to reach this eventual stage of adjustment and then adaptation.